Councilor Alfred Felix de Castro to be followed with the singing of national anthem.
Heavenly Father, bless you, glorify you, and adore you. Lord Jesus, restore love, strength, and service. We earnestly pray, O Lord, as we are all experience today. We will experience from others and presence of our our duties and responsibilities as mandated by the people, enhance our sense of integrity, honesty, dedication, and selflessness. Highlights our qualities and competence. Each one of us chooses to be endowed with different qualities. All this we ask for attainment of our easy goal, and to sustain our services and excellence together. Glory and amen.
Mga kababayan,
Madam Secretary, will you please do the roll call?
The Acting Councilor Apollonia G. Bacay.
Present.
The Majority Floor Leader, Councilor Cirilo Bidato.
Present.
The Minority Floor Leader, Councilor Oscar A. Tuling.
Present.
Councilor Caroline D. Season.
Present.
Councilor Michelle Estegondera.
Present.
Councilor Joselito Ocontelera.
Present.
Councilor Berna Esderabago. Councilor Probe de Hanoy. Ang Panunsod Special Session held October 17, 2019.
Councilor Silendera is recognized.
Madam Presiding Officer, I move for the adoption of the journal and minutes of the SP regular session held on October 17, 2019.
Councilor Michelle Silendera moves for the adoption of the journal and minutes of the SP Sangguniang Panlungsod Special Session held on October 17, 2019. Any second? Seconded by Councilor Pondelera, Councilor Season. Any comment, suggestion, recommendation? Hearing none, our journal and minutes of the Sangguniang Panlungsod Special Session held on October 17, 2019 is now adopted.
Reference to pieces. Under proposed ordinance for first reading, we have the proposed ordinance enacting the annual budget for calendar year 2020 of the City of Alaminos, Pangasinan, and providing appropriations thereof.
Yeah, Madam Chair, I would like to request for a dialogue among the members of the Sangguniang first before we calendar this for committee hearing. If they are available, including the Vice Mayor, of course.
Our Vice Mayor will be arriving on November 7 pa.
Dalang ba siya?
Hanggang November 7. So we will be scheduling the dialogue regarding the annual budget on
November 12. before our session, Madam Chair.
November 12, 2019 at 1:30
No, 1:30.
p.m. Okay, so we'll be scheduling the committee hearing and a dialogue on November 12 regarding the annual budget for calendar year 2020 of our city. Next, Madam Secretary.
And the proposed resolution, the first item is the resolution authorizing City Mayor Art Bayan Celeste to enter into a memorandum of agreement by and between the City Government of Alaminos, Pangasinan and the Jollibee Group Foundation Incorporated for the implementation of the Farmer Entrepreneurship Program in the city. So number 2 is the resolution authorizing City Mayor Art Bayan Celeste to enter into a memorandum of agreement by and between the local government unit Alaminos City, Pangasinan and the public and private schools on the job training of college students and work immersion of senior high school students. And the third resolution is the resolution favorably endorsing to the Department of Budget and Management the request for funding for farm to market roads in various barangays in the city of Alaminos amounting to 30 million pesos. And the number 4 resolution, proposed resolution is the resolution favorably endorsing to the Department of Budget and Management the request for funding assistance for solar street lights along San Jose Drive, Alaminos City, Pangasinan, amounting to 10 million pesos.
Madam Chair, I move to suspend our internal rule.
Isa pa, sir? So the last proposed resolution is the resolution favorably endorsing to the Department of Agriculture the request for funds of 200 million pesos under the Philippine Rural Development Projects for the procurement of farm machineries, fertilizers, organic farm materials, and construction of farm-to-market roads in the city of Alaminos, Pangasinan.
Yes, Madam Chair. I move to suspend our internal rules and accommodate our resource people.
For the suspension of our internal rules, to accommodate our speakers, seconded by Councilor Bolling. Our internal rules is now suspended. Madam Secretary, please introduce our good speaker.
For the proposed resolution regarding the MOA with Jollibee Food Court Foundation, Jollibee Group Foundation, we have Ma'am Jenilyn Grace Tangana from the Agriculture Office.
Good afternoon po sa ating lahat. Bale, ito pong proposed na Memorandum of Agreement in between the LGU and Jollibee Group Foundation is para po yung continuous po na programa po ng Jollibee Foundation dito sa city na si LGU pa rin po yung partner po nila, being the local implementing partner. So the Jollibee Group Foundation wanted to solidify this through the Memorandum of Agreement, sir, and to formalize, of course, yung ating partnership with the Group Foundation.
Any question kay Ma'am? Madam Chair, Councilor Carol?
Tanong ko lang po, regarding sa
Dito sa atin, si Ma'am Kat, ang sabi po niya doon is kung ano po yung technical po at saka yung financial din po na nahingi po ng ating HIFACO. Kasi po yung proponent group po natin dito is yung 100 Island Farmpreneurs Agriculture Cooperative, nagpo-produce po ng salad tomato. So as of now po is may na-download po silang 100,000 po to the HIFACO para po dun sa DAP certification. So actually yung work po with the Jollibee Group Foundation is ano ba ito pa namang term doon? Harmonious relationship po with the LGU. So kung doon po sa amount po is kung magkano lang po yung kaya natin i-provide. Yun naman po yung nilinaw ni Ma'am Kat, kung magkano po yung kaya natin i-provide. Kaya po siya blanco. To include po yung parang ano na rin, parang kasi syempre, ako po kasi yung inatasan nila na maging focal person or FEP facilitator dito sa Alaminos. And then ang ano po nila is parang to include na rin po syempre yung parang sahod ni gobyerno sa empleyado, which is me po, na tumutulong po doon sa programa. So, kinoconsider din po nila yon as investment po ni LGU, being the LIP,
na counterpart po nila para sumulong po yung Farmer Entrepreneurship Program. Actually, yung technical assistance po natin, kung titingnan po ng Jollibee Group Foundation, is considered as investment in financial assistance na rin na galing po sa LGU. So, nasa atin po kung magkano po i-reflect natin doon. And then, to mention na rin po, of course, yung ating farmer po is lumalapit din po sila sa Sanggunian. So, kasama din po yun. So, kung i-consider po natin talaga yung total cost is hindi po natin siya maka-quantify dun sa value. So, i-ano na lang po natin ito man kung magkano lang po yung kaya natin na ipasok dun sa annual investment plan po natin yearly.
Okay, may katanungan pa po ba tayo? Councilor Albert Felix Castro, Secretary Police.
Ano yung mga feasible na agro-enterprise na pwedeng maging subject nitong MOA?
Kasi sa ngayon, sir, ang ina-assist po talaga ng Jollibee Group Foundation is particular po din sila dun sa Haifaco. Kasi sila po yung nagde-deliver po ng salad tomato sa Jollibee. So, 100 Island Farmpreneurs Agriculture Cooperative.
Ano yung mga product nila?
Salad tomato po.
Salad tomato? Salad
tomato. Directly po na nagde-deliver po sila sa Jollibee. And then they are expanding their production kasi po is hindi po natin na nata-target actually yung volume ng delivery natin. So, nag-increase po tayo ng membership and then from association is kino-opt na rin po natin sila para po mapangalagaan po nila yung kanilang assets. At the same time, mabigyan din po ng kaukulang dividendo or kaukulang ano yung mga members po nila.
Approximately, what is the volume ng salad tomato na na-deliver ng 100 Islands Farmers Cooperative?
2019, sir, is 7.4 metric tons from January to first week of April. And then last year is 3.2 lang po siya dahil po dun sa bagyo. So, we are very positive po na nag-i-increase po yung kanilang production and delivery.
So, yung first instance na nag-deliver pa is 7.2 tons. So, ito yung second instance pa lang.
Yes, sir. Ito na po yung pinaka-highest for the year kasi nagsimula po tayong mag-deliver ng 2015. And then, since bago po yung salad tomato po is bago po siya as considered po na no commodity po sa mga farmers, nahihirapan po silang magtanim. Pero dahil nga po sa support na continuous pa rin po na binibigay ng LGU at saka ng Jollibee Group Foundation, and at the same time po, to mention na rin po yung Department of Agriculture through yung sa kanilang TRDP. Kung narinig po natin yung consolidation facility po na pinatayo nila, na malaking bagay doon. So parang na-encourage po sila to increase production. So hopefully by this 2020, ma-exceed pa po nila yung 7.4 metric tons.
Okay. Of the forthcoming year 2020, of the 39 barangays, how many barangays do you intend?
Makapag-expand tayo sa, pukal-pukal pa po pala, is kailangan pa po nilang magpa-GAP certify. Kasi yung nauna na po na nag-deliver is they are GAP certified, Good Agricultural Practices certified. May certification na po sila. And isa po yun na requirement ni Jollibee. So, yung 100,000 nga po na sinabi ko po na na-download sa co-op is galing po yun sa Jollibee Group Foundation for the specific purpose na yung magjo-join po this year na 2020 na magpuproduce is GAP certified.
Yes, I am very much inclined to this because, as you know, the price of palay has terribly gone down. And one of the councilors here, Councilor Jojo Pontelera, had not to make good his investment in his palay threshold. So, if we could encourage if possibly within the 39 barangays of Alaminos to be spearheaded by our very distinguished gentleman here, Kagawad Jojo Pontelera, to instead shift from palay to salad tomato, I believe that the 7.2 metric tons being delivered to Jollibee can be tripled by Kagawad, so that we can put more funds into that project because, you know, Santa Maria is very near to Laca. Kagawad Boling is also very much interested.
Yes,
That's why
sir.
he is very keen on listening to your explanation. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I have no further question.
Thank you. Councilor Cirilo Bandalo.
You mentioned that other partners from Pupal, have paid tax.
Industry. So once na-certified na po yung product ninyo, is assured po tayo na safe po siya sa market at the same time competitive po siya sa other produkto na nasa local at saka nasa international. And international mostly. Kung plano po natin mag-import, number 1 po yun na requirement. Ayun po.
So kahit yung individual,
Export, I mean.
mag-deliver kahit hindi yung kay Paco. Kung kailangan ka mag-filter sa kay Paco.
Yes sir, hindi po siya allowed na individual kasi magiging buy and sell na lang po yung mangyayari. Parang magiging middleman si Hypaco, which is iniiwasan po ni Group Foundation. Gusto po nila is i-member siya kasi nga po yung nabanggit ko kanina na dividendo. Di po ba pag nag-deliver po kasi sila at saka inaano nila yung mga services ni Hypaco, meron at merong babalik sa kanila. So actually mataas po yung presyo ni Jollibee ngayon. At the end of the year, sana may bumalik sa farmer dahil 3-4 times po yung presyo niya sa market. Magkaroon ng tripartite agreement. So, hopefully, to follow na lang po siguro yun, sir. Kasi ang ano naman natin is...
Lumalabas ang kay Paco dito eh. So if nagpirma, if the signatories to the MOA, at the mayor only and Jollibee, well, hindi naman natin saan may nangyari. Hindi Alaminos ang puputukan, hindi yung Hypaco. Parang gano'n eh.
For the resolution regarding the ODSAP trainings, we have Sir Floyd Peter P. Lalas, our officer in charge of the Office of the Human Resource and Management.
Good afternoon, Sir Floyd.
Good afternoon po sa lahat. Ito pong memorandum of agreement po, I think this was done 2 years ago when the start of the work immersion coming from the senior high students took off. So 2 years ago, we had already this memorandum of agreement under the leadership of Mayor Art Celeste. Yan po. And now, since we have a new mayor, so we wish po sana before we accommodate our students coming from different schools po. For the record po, in the previous years, we only cater Alaminos students and one from Agno National High School. But as of the moment po, meron na rin po tayo, aside from the Alaminos schools, meron na rin po tayo coming from Bolinao and Babini. And still Agno po. So, mayroon pa rin po tayo mga ibang schools po coming from different towns na rin po in Western Pangasinan. The problem is we cannot start it yet kasi wala pa rin po tayong resolution po na si Mayor Brian po ang magsasign po in behalf of the City Government of Alaminos na magtatanggap po tayo ng OJTs from the college institutions and senior high school students po from the different schools in Western Pangasinan.
May tanong po tayo kay Sir Floyd. Michelle, Silvera.
Sir, may I just ask kung nagbibigay po ba tayo ng allowance sa mga nag-OJT?
Hindi po tayo nagbibigay po ng allowance sa ating po mga OJTs and senior high school students po. But we only give them, like I said, we cater only and we accommodate them po para naman po doon sa kanilang program po sa kanilang schools to finish their college and their senior high curriculum.
One last question,
Yes,
sir. Saan po department usually napupunta ang ating mga OJT?
Ma'am, sa lahat po ng department po, kasi dinidistribute po namin sila sa lahat po. Pero may mga cases po kasi ma'am na sometimes they prefer in a particular office. Depende po doon sa course po nila. If it's an ICT, then we will give them all to MIS. But the problem is there were times po kasi na they were overcrowded po. Inaabot po sila minsan mga 40 or 30 students in one office. So, during my orientation with the school, ina-expect ko po sa kanila na if and only if na hindi po sila po pwedeng i-accommodate po doon sa particular office na gusto nilang mapuntahan, ay dinidistribute po namin sila sa ibang office who are in need of our OJTs per se para po ma-accommodate lamang po sila.
Thank you, sir.
Yes ma'am, thank you po.
Okay. Tanong pa po? Magtatanungan po tayo. Mga ilang oras yun, sir?
Ma'am, pag sa senior high school students po ma'am, inaabot lang po sila ma'am ng 2 weeks po. Straight po 2 weeks. So, every 2 weeks po, yung sa senior high, yung sa work immersion nila, 2 weeks po yun. Pero kapag sa college students po, minsan po inaabot po sila ng 2 to 3 months po.
So 2 weeks para doon sa immersion na?
Yes ma'am, for
Pero
senior high
sa
school students, yes ma'am.
College na?
Na OJTs po. Opo, 2 months to 3 months po.
300 hours.
Yes ma'am, something like that.
Okay, so may katanungan pa po tayo. Dito rin pala si Vice Mayor. Wala na. So okay na. Thank you, Sir.
Thank you so
Joy.
much po. Thank you po.
Next speaker po. Ma'am Luz.
For items 3, 4, and 5. For items 3, 4, 5, we have Madam Rizal and Cruz and Madam Rowena Ruiz.
Afternoon, Ma'am Rizal.
Good afternoon, ma'am, sir. So, yung topic ko po is all about the resolution favorably endorsing to the DBM requesting funding po for farm-to-market road amounting to 30 million and 10 million. So, these items lang po, alam naman po natin na katatapos yung proposed PPA, so programs projects to be included in the 20% development fund for 2020. Some of the programs po na nire-request ng other captains and meron po tayong listings from the engineering office, yung list po ng farm-to-market roads, and we can accommodate po all the roads na ipapasok po natin sa ating annual budget. So we have to augment po yung ating budget. So we have to request po mga suntok sa buwan po ito na resolutions to be able for us for additional fund po to the LGU. Yung item par 5. Yung 30 million and 10 million po is just a nothing to lose na baka sakaling aprubahan po sa atin. For the item number 6 naman po, resolution favorably endorsing to the DA requesting for 200 million also under the PRDP for the procurement of farm machineries, fertilizers, organic farm materials, and construction of farm-to-market roads. Still, suntok sa buwan din po ito, request for the DA. Although, meron na pong resolution number 2019-112 approved po by the SE dated September 17, 2019 amounting to 100 million. Meron po tayong kausap.
Any question pa po? Wala na? So, okay na? Thank you, Ma'am Rizal. Thank you, Ma'am Weng. Ano ito pala kay Ma'am Weng? Three under proposed resolution 3, 4, 5 na po yun. Diniscuss mo po. So, okay.
I vote for the suspension of the laws, Madam
Mr.
Chair, so we
Ruben
can
Lolo.
act on the 5 proposed resolutions. Before we go to the other items of the calendar.
So, we are na lifting tayo.
Tapos na tayo dyan.
Tapos na. So, under proposed resolution number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Madam Chair, I move that item B, proposed resolutions from item 1 to 5. They be elevated to the business of the day for deliberation.
Councilor Silvio Bangalop moves for item number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. What is the recommendation of our Committee on Rules and Laws?
That the matter is scheduled for committee hearing on
Sabay-sabay.
on October 30 at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Councilor Alfred Felix de Castro is scheduled the committee hearing.
Pag you sit on the thing. With that, I reiterate my motion that the matter be scheduled for committee hearing on October 30 at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Order. Next. Madam Secretary.
Now proceed to the committee reports. The first item is the joint committee report from the hearing held on September 30th regarding the dialogue with the concerned residents and Sangguniang Barangay o Barangay Victoria on the alleged prohibition on fishing activity within the territorial water of Alaminos by SWAL Authority.
Madam Chair,
Councilor Bangalop.
dialogue was conducted on September 30, 2019 at Association Hall. Present were Councilors Berna Rabago, Polonia Bakay, and Oscar Buling. Also present were representatives from the Agriculture Office, Pantay Dagat, Transport Isla, and the Council members of Victoria, headed by Punong Barangay Mario Rapadon, and some fisher folks from the concerned barangay. Dialogue stemmed from a report that some of our fishermen were prohibited from having their fishing activity within the municipal waters of Suan. Punong Barangay Rapadon confirmed that the fishermen from this barangay had attempted to catch fish within territorial waters. The latter were driven away by individuals firing gunshots. Mr. Milbert Ferrer from the Agriculture Office has enlightened the committee that our fishermen can fish even in nearby towns, provided the latter will comply with the provisions of fishery laws and requirement of Section 21 of RA 8550 as amended by RA 10654, which provides resident municipal fishery folk of municipality concerned and their organizations or cooperatives shall have priority to exploit municipal.
Will be deleted from the calendar. Next committee report.
Yes, Madam Chair, the committee hearing was conducted on October 7, 2019. With me were Councilors Berna Rabago, Polonia Bakay, Oscar Buling, and VP Raul Bakay. It was CPD officer, zoning officer, and Division Barangay Council member, assisted by Punong Barangay Herman Rabago. During the dialogue, PBA Herman Rabago informed the August body that this barangay council has initiated a public hearing on the proposed gasoline station owned by JT Petroleum Inc. located at Soap. The residents within the area have strongly opposed the establishment of the gasoline station because of fear for life. We however emphasized that there are several requirements to do so, establishing a business on barangay clearance, barangay resolution, DNA certification, physical resolution, and zoning certificate. Failure to comply any of this would be ground to deny such application. Since the barangay have already denied the application, gas company cannot obtain any barangay clearance from the same, means cannot resume its business application. As to the committee's point of view, the sample representation lamented that we have been exceptionally concerned with imports to be congested in certain areas and allowing gas station along Solki Market and only worse of the traffic situation in the city. To give the program sought approval from this August budget, we can only to give our endorsement to the aforementioned document be successfully complied with. With the above state findings, the committee hereby moves for the adoption of committee report and it shall be deleted from the calendar of business.
Our committee chair on laws and laws, Councilor Cirilo Radok, moves for the adoption of its committee report and the measure be deleted on the calendar of business. Any second? Seconded by Councilor Boli. This committee report be deleted on the calendar of business. Next, Madam Secretary.
Joint Committee Report from the hearing held on October 7 regarding the proposed resolution authorizing City Mayor R. Brian C. Celeste to enter into a memorandum of agreement by and between the local government unit and Alaminos City, Pangasinan and the Philippine Institute of Environmental Planners, North Luzon Chapter, 100 Island Cycling Club Incorporated, Philippine Medical Society Western Pangasinan, Confederation of Ilocano Association, Samahang Ilocano, Victory Christian Fellowship of Pangasinan Incorporated, and LGUs of the municipalities of Sual, Mabini, Burgos, Dasol, Infanta, Bani, Anda, Agno, and Bolinao for the institutionalization of disaster risk reduction and management initiatives among stakeholders and build resilience of local communities.
Councilor Cesar.
Yes, Madam Chair. The committee hearing was conducted on October 7, 2019 at 10 in the morning. Present were Councilors Oscar Boling, Magdalia De Leon, Raul Bacay, Verna Rabagos, Cirilo Radok, Apollonia Bacay, and yours truly. Only one resource speaker attended the said hearing. Thus, the head of CDRRMO of Alaminos, Pangasinan. The purpose of the meeting was to deliberate upon the request for the authority of City Mayor Honorable Brian Celeste to enter into a memorandum of agreement with the Philippine Institute of Environment Planners, North Luzon Chapter, 100 Island Cycling Club, Philippine Medical Society, Western Pangasinan, Confederation of Ilocano Association, Samahang Ilocano, Victory Christian Fellowship of hearing, Councilor Radok informed the committee that a similar resolution had been previously passed and approved during the previous administration of former Mayor Arthur F. Celeste involving the subject matter. The passage therefore, of the requested resolution would merely entail a change in the signatory of the Memorandum of Agreement to reflect the name of the current Mayor, Honorable Art Brian C. Celeste. Upon inquiry from Councilor Bacay, Ms. Maylene Manalastas informed the committee that the Department of the Interior and Local Government necessitates the execution of the MOA as it is among the requirements of the Seal of Good Local Governance. According to Ms. Manalastas, all local governments are required and mandated to partner with civic society organizations and other LGUs in order to render mutual assistance in the form of logistics and manpower during times of disaster. Ms. Manalastas confirmed the earlier statement of Councilor Radok that during the previous administration of Honorable Arthur F. Celeste, a similar request for authority was granted by the Sangguniang Panlungsod. Due to the election period, however, only one memorandum of agreement was executed between Alaminos City and the municipality of Dasol, Pangasinan. According to Ms. Manalastas, the identified CSOs and LGUs have signified their intent to conclude the MOA with the LGU of Alaminos City for disaster management. The obligation of our partner CSOs and LGUs are not confined to the rendition of assistance during actual disasters, but also include participation in climate change and disaster reduction activities. In return, the Alaminos City LGU will provide our volunteers with capacity building orientations, trainings, including identification cards that will be submitted to the Office of the Civil Defense for recording purposes. In view of the above, the committee hereby moves for the adoption of this committee report and that the matter be elevated to the business of the day. Madam Chairman.
Councilor Michelle Sigundera moves for the adoption of this committee report and that the matter be elevated for the business of the day for approval. Seconded by Councilor Carol, Councilor Bolly, Councilor Dalia De Leon, that this committee report be elevated. This resolution be elevated for the business of the day for the adoption. Next committee report.
Next committee report is the committee report, joint committee report from the unbanked hearing of the held on October 8 regarding the confirmation of the proposed annual investment program for calendar year 2020. And of course, also a resolution approving and confirming in toto the proposed calendar year 2019 supplemental annual investment program number 2 of the City of Alaminos, Pangasinan, amounting to 51,513,535 pesos and 62 centavos. And the supplemental budget for the ordinance enacting supplemental budget number 2 of the local government unit of the City of Alaminos, Pangasinan for the operation of the city government of Alaminos.
Yes, Madam Chair. In committee hearing pertaining to the above subjects was conducted October 8, 2019, duly attended by the members of the City Local Finance Committee. Engineer Garcia from CPDC presented before the committee its program and projects that are included in the 2020 annual investment program with the aggregate amount of 704,451,166 pesos, and the 2019 supplemental annual investment program number 2 amounting to 51,513 pesos, 513,535 pesos and 62 centavos. With respect to the first subject matter, AIP 2020, there are 3 new items included as follows: construction of Bahay Pag-asa amounting to 5 million, expansion of City Health Center 10 million, and renovation of Plaza Enrique Braganza for 17,201,097 pesos and 96 centavos. Engineer Garcia explained further that the EIP 2020 will be integrated in GILA through its component local government development investment program, which will be implemented in 3 years from 2020 to 2022. The programs identified in the LDP on its first year 2020 are the same programs identified in the 2020 AIP. In the above findings, the committee hereby moves to adopt this committee report with the reservation of requesting representative from GSO to clarify an item which was the subject of comments during the committee hearing. Specifically, PPE, purchase of 1 unit aircon for the Don Leopoldo Season Convention Center. And I think we have a speaker today. So, Madam Chair, I move that the rules be again suspended to give way to our speaker for this item.
So our internal rules now suspended. Seconded by Councilor Boding.
Madam Chair, before we proceed with that, I would just like to clarify. I am looking through the committee report. It appears that the committee report only speaks of the first subject matter, which is the AIP of 2020. But the committee report does not include any report on the supplemental budget number 2, supplemental annual investment program number 2 amounting to 51,535 pesos per 62. Tingnan mo na kayo dyan. Because if we will carefully read the committee report is supposedly speaking of 2 or 3 items, which is subject matter number 1, resolution confirming, approving in toto the proposed annual investment program, AIP CY 2020, in correlation with subject number 2, resolution confirming.
This committee report are items number 2 and number 3. Item number 1 is a separate measure and share. But I also agree that some aspects of the committee hearing are not found here in this report.
Madam Chair, may I request na?
Councilor Alfred Di Castro is recognized.
May I ask for a 5-minute break here? Madam Chair.
So 5 minutes break.
Yes.
Thank you.
Then, including installation na po yun. Then, may consider na po dun yung mga cost of money. Kasi according to dun sa seminar namin nung last September, according to the IRR, Implementing Rules and Regulations, RA 9184, na may mga factors na i-consider para sa pag-pricing ng mga items. Nandiyan yung cost of money, yung installation cost, syempre i-consider na din yung incidental expenses na kung saan may mga tauhan naman yung supplier. So, i-ano na natin mga supplier para dun sa paggawa o pag-deliver ng item na.
So may tatanong pa kay Ma'am Maricel, Councilor Raul Bakay.
Ma'am Maricel, yung di ba ang nakalagay dun sa papel 2 units of aircon? Isa lang yung nakalagay.
Yung nailagay po nila sa pinasa nilang supplemental, 1 unit po, pero according to Sir Bonnie, 2 units po yun.
Paano yung resolution niya? Siyempre yung resolution niya, kapag isa lang yung isa lang, pagkatapos mag-amount na ganun ka.
Sir, siguro nga po, baka pwede nating palitan. Kasi nga, sabi nga ni first dialogue namin is yung isang PR, isang unit. But then, nung sinabi ko nga yung concern ninyo regarding dun sa pricing, sabi niya, 2 units daw. Ito po, meron na silang i-present na program of work. At saka, included na din daw po yung installation. Labor GS personnel po.
Ano?
Yung labor under GS personnel po.
Pero nakasali doon sa kwan?
Hindi ho. Yung labor na ay yun, walang amount. Ang mayroon lang po yung mga materials, ganun, tapos yung unit ng aircon. Yung aircon po is 5 ton na floor mounted po.
Mr. Chair, Ma'am Chair, pakikon sana yung program mo po, pakibigyan yung, kasi hindi namin.
Pagpa-serox na lang. Sinamang mga serox.
Sir, if I may, the last time po ng committee hearing natin, Engineer Bonnie, hindi daw siya 1 unit, kundi 2 units, and he provided as a program of work. So, siguro sir, with that, pwede natin makorek kung ano po yung submit ko. Siyempre, upon your approval, kung na-convince po kayo dito sa i-represent po nilang program of work.
Madam Chair.
Yes, Councilor.
Today, the speaker intends to present the program of work.
Meron po
Hindi.
Madam, sir, pinapaserap po.
Okay.
Ang Antayin muna natin.
Before that, what kind of aircon is that unit?
5-tonner lift type aircon, sir. Floor mounted, sorry.
And then,
Yung cabinet type, sir, yung mataas na hanggang sa ano.
and then, ma'am, replacement ba yun o augment the installed air conditioned units na yun?
Additional, ako, sir.
Additional. What prompted you to conclude there is a need for an additional air conditioned unit?
Kasi daw po, sir, yung mga first na install is replacement for
So this is not an augmentation, this is a replacement.
Yes.
How many units of the how many air conditioned units needs replacement?
Actually, sir, it's 4. Pero ang kinain lang po ng budget natin is yung for 2 units.
The Budget Secretary is more aware of the problem. Yes. But I am inspired with that.
Ayaw kong pakawalan. Baka daw makulaps dito, sir. Kaya I'm helping them.
How many units of the
Pinipit ko kasi kinuha ko sila doon. Kaya ko
will be replaced? Ilan na mapalitan doon?
Sir, sa pag-uusap po namin ni Engineer Bonnie, 4 daw po talaga ang kailangan. For the meantime, 2 daw po.
If the Don Leopoldo Convention Center used to function or used to cater to guests and with functioning, how many air conditioned units before? Assuming they are all functioning, ilan lahat yung air conditioned unit? Kasi ito yung point. This is the point now. If the Don Leopoldo Convention Center is catering to guests who are paying how much? 15,000?
35,000.
Or 35,000 with extra yung 4, i-replace natin ang 2. May complaint tayo because of poor ventilation. Because it could no longer meet the area. Because of lack of 2 additional air conditioned units. Kailan ba nasira yung air conditioned unit na 4? Hindi na alam ni Mother.
Sana, kung may malalang representative dito, yung makakasagot. Kasi masisira yung journal namin kung yung mga sagot hindi namin alam o karoon. Walang offensement.
Naka-seminar kasi si...
So, nakabitin yung tanong namin. How can we now recommend the approval kung nakabitin yung mga tanong na hindi nasasagot? So, if we do not know how many units are there in yung total original, how many units are there? How many units are out of order ngayon? Para can we still rent that for the price of 35,000? Some units are not working.
Sagutin mo na.
Mga ganon.
No, aside from that, it's not actually the rent. But you know, the reputation of that building is not used to be named as Don Leopoldo Auditorium. the purpose in changing the name from auditorium to convention is that, to cope up with the time. Because that building has catered to several symbolic, that is the goal, the vision of this question. So, I hope that next time around, mas maging well-versed tayo sa mga i-present natin dito. Dito si budget officer, kung hindi, pinakawalan nyo ito kanina pa, wala lang. Budget officer, nagiging CPA engineer na ngayon.
Pasensya na po sir kasi biglaan, hindi rin namin alam ang topic. Basta pinatawag lang kami. Si Ma'am Maricel, for your information, si Ma'am Maricel kasi, siya lang yung gumagawa ng mga PR natin. Opo. Ako po in-check sa paggawa ng pag-set ng vouchers. Siyempre po yung mga tanong na kwan. Yung gano'ng mga tanong. Hindi ho na sabi mo po si Sir Bo, hindi mo nasasakupan niya na yung mga ganun katanungan.
Well, anyway, Madam Chair, may I just ask that the manifestation of the speaker be stricken off the record because that will worsen our record by admitting that she does not know the topic that we are discussing here.
Anyway, naka-suspend naman yung rules natin. So, any question pa po from our DSO officer, Ma'am Maricel at Sir Mar? May katanungan pa po? Wala na. So, kung wala na po katanungan, what is the pleasure of our chair on budget and finance? Anyway, thank you na lang po. Lifting. We are now lifting our internal rules. So what is the recommendation of our committee chair on budget and finance?
Madam Chair, I suggest that you will submit to us a corrected amended request so that we will not be the one to amend the
Joint Committee report from the public hearing held on October 9 regarding the proposed ordinance providing welfare services, special privileges and benefits to solo parents and their children, appropriating funds therefore and for other purposes.
Yes, Madam Chair. May I be recognized? A public hearing of the said subject matter was conducted last October 9, 2019. Present were Councilors Apple Bacay, Silvio Rado, Michelle Sagondera, Verna Rabago, and Dalia De Leon. Also with us were the different representatives from PSWD, Legal Office, some barangay council members, and projected beneficiaries of the said ordinance. This committee underscored the importance of the proposed measure, citing that there is a pressing need to localize the national law in order to create social awareness and promote accessibility on the privileges and benefits that the local law has to offer among solo parents, the city. In fact, Ruli has asserted that the city intends to strengthen the welfare of solo parents and their families by organizing a solo parent and their children task force, as provided for in Section 7, Monitoring and Evaluation Program. Meanwhile, the CSWD representatives tackled some salient features of the proposed solo parents ordinance. Number 1, the requirements, which include the barangay certification, an affidavit of 2 parents. Number 5, the validity of a solo parent ID, 1-year validity. And number 6, the penalty. The committee, along with the invited guests, attended to various concerns and clarifications from the participants, particularly on the qualification guidelines. In view of the above stated findings, The committee hereby moves for the adoption of its committee report, and the same committee recommends that the proposed measure be scheduled for second reading on the next regular session.
Councilor Carol Dizon Sisa moves for the adoption of its committee report, and the same committee recommends that the proposed measure be scheduled for second reading on the next regular session. Next committee report.
Appropriation Committee report from the hearing was held on October 11 regarding the 2019 of Barangay Polo, amounting to 257,740 pesos.
Yes, Madam Chair, present during the hearing conducted on October 11, 2019 were my colleagues, Councilor Colonia Bacay and Councilor Scarbole. Also present were the representatives from the Budget Office and the SK Chairman of Barangay Polo. The SK Chairman of Barangay Polo has discussed with the committee their SK annual budget in the amount of 250 applicable budgeting rules and the regulations. The committee found the budget in order. In view of the findings, the committee moves for the adoption of its committee report and a resolution adopted declaring valid and operational SK annual budget of Polo.
Councilor Cirilo Manradov moves for the adoption of its committee report and the adoption of the resolution declaring valid and operational the SK annual budget of Polo will be adopted. Seconded by Councilor Bowling. This committee report.
For forest land agreement for tourism purposes.
Madam Chair, the Sulan moved for resetting, and the committee hearing was not conducted because a prior message was conveyed, and hence the matter is reset on December my favorite number 13 at 11 o'clock in the morning. December 13 at 11 o'clock in the morning.
The council scheduled the committee hearing on December 13, 2019 at anong time, sir?
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock in the morning. Next committee report.
Joint Committee report for a hearing held on October 11 regarding the dialogue on the implementation of the provisions of Article 10 of City Ordinance Number 2009-04.
Chair, a consultation dialogue with the representative from the Bantay Dagat State Agriculture Office Maritime was conducted on October 11, 2019. Also present were my colleagues Oscar Buleg, Councilor Apollonia Bacay, Councilor Caroline Dizon Sisa. The committee, through the undersigned chairman, has stressed the need to amend Article 10 of the City Ordinance 2009-04 to address the current sentiment of our fisher folk. The latter calls for consideration of this August body the following issue concerned. The penalty provided under the Section 70 of the Foresight Ordinance provides offense. The fisher folk appeal the fine of 5,000 should be applied or scattered proportionately to first, second, and third offense. The city government should allow marginalized fisher folks to fish during rainy season without securing permit from the city. Number 3, the city government should allow registered passenger boats to be used for fishing to meet their livelihood during this Lent month. In addressing the first issue, Ms. Usul from the Agriculture Office stressed that it would stick to the amount so imposed by the ordinance for every violation to give more teeth for the protection and sustainability of the Andron Island. As to second concern, a representative from Bantay Dagat emphasized that our fisher folks are not prohibited from fishing to the island for as long as they will not enter the protected demarcation lines at Andron Island national park. On the third issue, maritime representative nominated that registration as its purpose, which means that the passenger boat duly registered to ferry passenger cannot be used for fishing in the fjord or vice versa. Converting a passenger boat into fishing boat without surrendering the former registration defeat the purpose of registration. Dual registration is not allowed. For dissemination purposes, Ms. Poison from the Agricultural Office reminded all concerned that there will be a need to register all fisher folk as mandated under Executive Order 304 and it's for free. On the other hand, the registration of fishing boat requires a fee to be paid annually depending on the size of the boat. This committee recommends the drafting of an
Councilor Raul Bacay moves for the adoption of its committee report and recommends the enactment of an ordinance amending Article 10 of City Ordinance Number 2009-04 of Alaminos City. And we will be i-delete na lang sa calendar. We delete it to the calendar.
Kasi ang usapan namin, gagawa tayo ng draft dito para ibibigay sa legal sa city government.
Okay. So next committee report.
Joint committee report from the hearing held on October 14th regarding the proposed ordinance and ordinance adopting the implementing rules and regulations of Republic Act Number 10028, otherwise known as an act expanding the promotion of breastfeeding and milking for the purpose Republic Act Number 7600, otherwise known as an act providing incentives to all government and private health institutions with rooming in and breastfeeding practices and for other purposes.
Okay, Councilor Carol.
Yes, Madam Chair. Ako na mag-report. The two aforementioned subject matters went through a committee hearing on October 14, 2019, duly attended by SP committee members, including Councilors Sison, De Leon, Ranoy, and Rabago. The CHO and CSWD representatives were also present to give light to the subject matter. According to Dr. Carambas, the City Health Officer, the adoption of said national law would encourage more mothers to stick with breastfeeding, highlighting its good health impact to newly born babies up to 6 months. The adoption requires all private and public establishments to allocate a small enclosed room for breastfeeding purposes, especially from crowded places like LGU, malls, terminals, schools, and market, among others. Meanwhile, the second proposed measure focuses on in the most crucial stage between the mother and child nutritional level by strengthening the maternal, neonatal, and child health and nutrition the first 1,000 days of life. Although both measures are significant for lactating mothers and children, the SP Secretary lamented that it's better if the Sangguniang would craft a new ordinance specifically suited to the needs of the City of Alaminos by identifying specific programs and projects not identified in the national law that can be institutionalized by concerned government agencies. In view of the above stated finding, the committee hereby moves for the adoption of its committee report, and the measure will be calendared for public hearing on November 13th at 9 o'clock.
The committee moves for the adoption of its committee report, and the measure will be scheduled for the public hearing on November 13, 9 a.m. Wednesday. The next report po.
So I proceed to the item number 13. Joint committee report for the hearing held on October 14 regarding the evaluation of CSO documents for accreditation.
Yes, Madam Chair, I am reporting on behalf of Councilor Robert Ranoy. This is colleagues, namely Councilors Bakay, De Leon, Season, and Raba who have joined this committee last October 14, 2019 to evaluate the fourth batch of application for accreditation consisting of 7 CSO applicants. After thorough evaluation and scrutiny of the documents, the following observations were noted. Compliant applicants were as follows: Amang Bangan Farmers Association, Alaminos Barangay Pulo Farmers Irrigators Association, Inc., Amang Bangan Rural Improvement Club, Damayan Farmers Association of Makati, Inc., with no representation during the hearing, Bulanay Farmers Association of Alaminos City, Alaminos City Farmers Peacekeepers and Irrigators Federation, Inc., those non-compliant and complete requirements, CISO, Tau Gamma Pi. The committee strongly recommend that the 4 affirmation compliant applicants.
Joint Committee Report from the hearing held on October 16 regarding the proposed resolution authorizing conformity to the adoption of the Memorandum of Partnership Agreement with the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, represented by the PENR, to adopt the Provincial Forestry Development and Management Plan of Pangasinan.
So, resolution na ito, sir. Resolution.
Madam Chairman,
Yes, Councilor Rachel Silvera.
the committee hearing originally was supposedly scheduled at on October 16, but was moved to October 24 this week. It was reset on October 24 at 10 in the morning.
Item number 14, the schedule will be rescheduled on October 24 at 10 a.m. Okay, Madam Secretary?
I proceed to the business of the day. Under unfinished business, we have the ordinance, proposed ordinance prohibiting 201C in the city of Alaminos.
Madam Chair, I move that we calendar this again for another second reading.
Councilor Carol, season moves for the reschedule for another second reading for the Untitled Residual of Alaminos City. Any second, seconded by Councilor Jojo Contelera. Any comment, suggestion, recommendation? Hearing none. This ordinance be scheduled for another second reading. Next po.
Under new business, we have the second reading of the proposed ordinance regulating backfeeding or side feeding that would impede the natural flow of water within the city of Alaminos, requiring locational clearance for such activities and providing penalties for violation thereof.
Yes, Madam Chair, I request.
So, Councilor Cirilo Nadok moves for the scheduling for another second reading for this resolution.
Ordinance, Madam Chair.
For this ordinance, second, seconded by Councilor Contelera. Any comment, suggestion, recommendation? Hearing none.
The said ordinance regulating the selling promotion of junk foods and sugary drinks to preparatory, elementary, and high school students inside and within 100 meters perimeter in public and private schools in the city of Alaminos be calendared for third and final reading.
Councilor Carol moves for
Our
the
next session.
rescheduling of this resolution for another third and final reading. Seconded by Councilor Segundera, Councilor Fonterera. Any comments, suggestion, recommendation? Hearing none, this ordinance be scheduled for another for a third reading for the next regular session. Next po.
Second.
Yes, Madam.
Second reading of the proposed ordinance establishing the Alaminos City Technical Vocational Institute and Assessment Center and providing funds thereof.
Yes, Madam Chair. Regarding the said ordinance, I move that we calendar this for third and final reading on our next session.
Councilor Carol moves for the third and final reading of this ordinance. Seconded by Councilor Fonterera, Councilor Segundera. Any comments, suggestions, recommendation? Hearing none, this ordinance is scheduled for third and final reading on the next regular session. Next point.
Next item is the resolution authorizing City Mayor Art Brian Celeste to enter into a memorandum of agreement by and between the City Government of Alaminos, Pangasinan and the Jollibee Group Foundation for the implementation of the Farmer Entrepreneurship Program in the city.
Yes, Madam Chair, if there are no more questions or addition of the measure, I move for the adoption of the proposed resolution.
Councilor Cirilo Banladot moves for the adoption of this resolution. Duly seconded by Councilor Carol, Jason Sison, Councilor Fonterera. Any comments, suggestions, recommendation? Hearing none, this resolution is now adopted.
Resolution authorizing City Mayor Art Brian Celeste to enter into a memorandum of agreement by and between the local government unit, Alaminos City, Pangasinan, and the public and private schools on the job training of college students and work immersion of senior high school students in the city of Alaminos.
Yes, Madam Chair, there are no more comments regarding the said resolution. I move for its approval.
Councilor Carol, Jason Sison moves for the adoption of this resolution. Duly seconded by Councilor Fonterera, Councilor Segundera. Any comments, suggestions, recommendations? Hearing none, this resolution is now adopted.
Resolution favorably endorsing to the Department of Budget and Management the request for funding for farm to market roads in the various barangays in the city of Alaminos amounting to 30 million pesos.
Madam Chair, I move this said resolution be adopted, includes item 3, 4, and 5.
Councilor Jojo Fonterera moves for the adoption of this adoption and approval of this resolution. Duly seconded by Councilor Cirilo Banladot, Councilor Segundera, Councilor Carol, Jason, no comments, suggestions, recommendation? Hearing none, this resolution is now approved. Next, Madam Chair, ay Madam Secretary.
Resolution authorizing City Mayor Art Brian Celeste to enter into a memorandum of agreement by and between the local government unit, Alaminos City, Pangasinan, and the Philippine Institute of Environment Planners, North Luzon Chapter, 100 Island Cycling Club Incorporated, Philippine Medical Society, Western Pangasinan, Confederation of Ilocano Association Samahang Ilocano, Victory Christian Fellowship of Pangasinan Incorporated, and the LGUs of Sual, Babini, Burgos, Dasol, Infanta, Bani, Anda, Agno, and Bulina for the institutionalization of disaster risk reduction management initiatives among stakeholders and build resilience of local communities.
Yes, Madam Chair, I move for the adoption of the said resolution.
Councilor Rochelle Secundera moves for the adoption of this resolution duly seconded by Councilor Carol Season. Councilor Secundera, any comments, suggestions, recommendation, hearing none, this resolution is now adopted. Next, Madam.
Resolution declaring valid and operative in its entirety the Sangguniang Kabataang annual 2019 annual budget of Barangay Polo amounting to 257,740 pesos.
Yes, Madam Chair, if there are no more questions or comments on the matter, I move for its adoption.
Councilor Cirilo Banradog moves for the adoption and approval of the said resolution. Duly seconded by Councilor Consilera, Councilor Secundera, Councilor Season. Any comments, suggestion, recommendation, hearing none, this resolution is now adopted. Next, Madam Secretary.
Wala na?
The resolution accrediting the civil society organization who have fully complied with the statutory provision on accreditation.
Yes, Madam Chair, if there are no more contrary opinion on the matter, I move for the adoption of the resolution accrediting the four CSOs.
Councilor Cirilo Banradog moves for the adoption of the said resolution. Duly seconded by Councilor Season, Councilor Consilera. Any comments, suggestion, recommendation, hearing none, this resolution is now approved. Wala na. So, okay na po tayo sa announcement. May announcement po ba tayo?
Councilor Puling, privilege.
Councilor Bowling is now recognized.
Oh.
Madam Chair, subject matter po discuss
Yeah.
Second.
Second,
Now,
ma'am.
for the regular session, this 22nd of October 2019.
Pero saglit lang po, pakihintay lang po yung resolution na pinapawas po ni Madam Admin yung sa 200 million na isasabi daw sa Manila bukas yung nito. Tapos na po, signature na.
Signature.